Hi guys, this is a bunch of examples showing you what and how you use a quadratic formula. Now this is the quadratic formula here, and we use it to find the solutions or the root of any quadratic equation, and it's super good if there's a difficulty or it's impossible to factorize. So it's a really good formula that has multiple choices to use it with. So it is a very boring sum, and I'm going to try and keep you awake, but you do need to know this. So what I've done is I filled out a whole one, then a little bit of one, and then we'll do the last one together. So pay attention and write this down if you can. So when you get a question with the 0 at the end, it's asking you to solve with the squared at the front in this format. You see where it says ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. That is just what form that's in. So we've got A, we've got B, and we've got C. Now we know that A is 2, B is 3, and C is -2. Now, that's the first step, is getting everything into the right places, because as you can see, the quadratic formula has lots of letters in it. Now, it's just substitution. Remember, we do have a calculator at hand, so don't fret. This is all about learning where to put the numbers. When you've got it, you'll be really happy with yourself that you've been able to understand it. So let's plot. We've done this step, so we're going to put everything into our quadratic formula. So we've got -b. So what's our b? It's a 3. So it's -3. Now it should be plus and minus here, as you can see. But for purposes of not being able to do it with the technology I have, I'm just going to add those in as I go along. But it should be plus and minus. So we've got b squared, which is 3 again. 3 squared minus 4. It's always a 4. And then our a and our c, which means to times because it's next to each other. So we've got 4 times 2, which is our a, times -2, which is our c. Are you with me so far? Substituting in. And then at the bottom, it's always 2. And we're going to times it by our a, which is 2. So now we've done everything that this formula has asked us to do. So now let's solve it. Now's the maths. Put all this into your calculator. So I know that 3 squared is 9, plus, when you do all that as a sum, it's 16. And obviously 2 times 2 is 4. Okay, so that's the next step done. Simplify it. 9 plus 16 is 25 over 4. Nothing's changed. So that's it. You may not do that step. You may just do all that, miss this step, go straight into it. That's fine, because I'm just teaching you the full steps for learning purposes. Now, with a quadratic, there's 2 solutions, okay? 2 possible solutions. We're going to have a positive and we're going to have a negative. And it tells us that because all the way through it's a plus and a minus, see? Plus the minus, that's telling us there's going to be 2 solutions, not 1, 2. So let's go at the positive root. X equals -3 plus square root 5 over 4. Let's pop it all in. So it's a plus -3 plus 5 divided by 4 equals 2 over 4, which gives us 0.5. That's our positive root. Negative root. So we're going to put, I'll just put an arrow here. So that's where our negative's gone, and that's where our plus has gone. So now we have -3, -5 divided by 4 equals -2 when you put it into your calculator. So there's your two solutions. X equals 0.5 or X equals -2. There is more detail into that, but this is just a basic question. This could come up in your exam, possibly a 3-mark question, because we do go further into it, which I have got other lessons on this where it's more deeper knowledge, where we're going to apply it to shapes. But this is how you do it. This is the way you'll always do it. Because it's a formula, all this stays the same. Doesn't matter what goes before it. This always stays the same. So now we're going to go on to the next one. As you can see, because it's x squared, it means 1. We don't put 0, it's 1. So we've got A is 1, B is -5, C is 6. See? We just follow the rule and substitute it in. Now, we know that -b is going to be here. So we've got -5 plus and a minus. Just pop those in. And as you can see, it's exactly the same. There's our b. We would times the 4, that's always there, by what A and C, 1 and 6. So now we've got 25 minus 24 over 2, which you may have skipped this step and you might go straight to this one. So we've got 1 over 2. That's pretty self-explanatory. So positive root, what we're going to do. So we're going to do the positive like we did before. So what we've got here is, just going to pop that there. So we have got 6 because it's going to be 5 plus 1. Oops, a pen. It's going to be 5 plus 1 divided by 2 equals 6 over 2, which equals 3. So our first solution, which I'm going to call x1, equals 3. Sign again, so we're going to put a negative here. So it's going to be 5 minus over 2 equals 4 over 2, which is another nice integer, nice whole number. So those are our answers. x1 equals 3 or x2 equals 2. So, you know, nice whole numbers. That was actually a really nice question. Some may say, why haven't we put the negative here? Not there, sorry. The negative here. Because remember, what's a negative and a negative make? It makes a plus, doesn't it? So we're not going to put a negative here, because a negative and a negative equals a plus. Always remember that. But you should know that by now. That's why I haven't pointed it out. If you're onto this, you should know that by now. So now we're going to do one together. So you can either pause the video and have a go at doing this yourself, then checking your answers after, or you can just listen to me talk and try and absorb what I'm saying. So let's have a look. Our A is 3. Our B is -2. And our C is -8. Do you agree? So let me just add my negatives there. Right, so what's our B? Our b is -2. So once again, it's going to be -2 and -2 here. Remember, you can't have a squared negative number, but let's just put everything in as it should be. And that's going to be times 3 times -8. And our a is again 3. So this is going to be times 3. So our new information is 4 minus 12 times -8. That's it written out in full. All over 6. And then we have, once again, our sum. That becomes 96 because a minus and a minus is a plus. So you will now have 4 plus 96, which gives you 100, all over 6. Now we're ready to write into here. So let's find our positive. So we're going to do, just going to write this in. You probably won't do all of this. I've probably gone a little bit too far over, but it doesn't matter. At least you understand where my sums are coming from, and that's the most important thing. So here, put all this into the calculator. We're going to do the plus first. We know that the square root of 100 is 10, divided by 6 equals 12, divided by 6. Can we simplify it? We certainly can, and that becomes 2. So our positive root is 2. Next, same again, but it's a -2 again, so it becomes a plus. So it's going to be 2 minus 10 over 6, which gives us 8 over 6, simplified to 4 over 3. So our x2 is 4 over 3. Now, as the questions are simple and they just ask us to solve, this really is very basic. But once you understand these, you're well away. Honestly, you will be absolutely fine because a formula never changes. So try and get this in your head. Try and remember it. I hope this helps and I haven't been too boring. Take care. Bye-bye.